The Big Bang Theory's Penny doesn't need a young Sheldon-Style spinoff, because Kaley Cuoco gave us young Penny 22 years ago. When The Big Bang Theory wrapped its record-breaking 12-season run in 2019, fans immediately began speculating about which characters might earn a spinoff. Sheldon Cooper had already been given his own origin story in Young Sheldon, which turned into a critical and commercial hit, extending CB's sitcom dominance for another decade. Naturally, many wondered if other members of the Pasadena gang could receive the same treatment. A prequel about Leonard's awkward childhood, Howard's life with his overbearing mother, even Raj's journey from India to America? All of them were floated at some point. But the most intriguing idea was always young Penny. Kaley Cuoco's character entered The Big Bang Theory as the bubbly, aspiring actress from Omaha, Nebraska, who captured Leonard's heart and, over time, the audience's as well. The show teased her backstory often, her strict father, her wild teenage years, and her early struggles before moving to California. A spin-off about her formative years could have made sense. Except here's the thing, Kaley Cuoco already gave us young Penny. Just not on The Big Bang Theory. And it happened more than 2 decades ago. Kaley Cuoco's forgotten sitcom roots. Before she was Penny Hofstadter, Cuoco was already a familiar face to TV audiences. In the early 2000s, she starred as Bridget Hennessy on 8 Simple Rules, originally 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter. The ABC sitcom premiered in 2002 and quickly became a hit, thanks to its mix of family comedy and John Ritter's charismatic performance as the overprotective dad. Cuoco played the eldest daughter, Bridget, a popular boy-crazy teenager who cared deeply about fashion, social status, and outsmarting her parents' rules. She was sarcastic, impulsive, funny, and surprisingly warm beneath her ditzy exterior. If you squint or don't squint at all, you can see Penny in training. In fact, Bridget is so similar to Penny that revisiting 8 Simple Rules feels like watching a rehearsal for Cuoco's eventual star-making turn on The Big Bang Theory. The voice inflections, the comedic timing, the "I'm smarter than you think I am" quality, all of it was already there. Bridget Hennessy equal Penny Hofstadter's prototype. Think about Penny's defining traits in the early seasons of The Big Bang Theory. She's confident socially, but often underestimated intellectually. She has a messy dating history, often going for the wrong guys before realizing what she truly wants. She's witty, sarcastic, and quick with comebacks, especially when sparring with Sheldon or Leonard. She hides her vulnerabilities beneath humor and bravado. Now compare that to Bridget on 8 Simple Rules. She was constantly scheming to get what she wanted from her parents, usually with clever if shallow reasoning. She dated bad boys and jocks while ignoring the more stable options. She wielded sarcasm like a weapon, particularly when teasing her younger siblings. And beneath all her antics, she cared deeply about her family, showing glimpses of maturity when it mattered. Sound familiar? It's not just similar, it's practically a blueprint. The tragedy that shaped Cuoco's career. 8 Simple Rules was a lighthearted family sitcom, but tragedy struck during its 2nd season when John Ritter passed away unexpectedly. The show pushed forward, but without its central figure, it never regained its footing. Still, Cuoco's performance stood out. She seamlessly shifted from pure comedy to handling heavier emotional material, showing a range that would later become essential for Penny on The Big Bang Theory. In retrospect, Cuoco's Bridget years functioned as both an audition and a training ground. By the time she joined The Big Bang Theory in 2007, she was seasoned, comfortable in front of live audiences, and ready to anchor a sitcom for over a decade. Why a young Penny wouldn't work now. With Young Sheldon closing in on its conclusion and CBS already experimenting with new spin-offs like Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, talk about other prequels has heated up again. Some fans still float the idea of a Nebraska-set Young Penny series following her teenage years and dysfunctional family life before she set out for Hollywood. But the truth is, we don't need it. And here's why. 1. The story's already been told, sort of. Penny's backstory has been sprinkled throughout The Big Bang Theory. We know she was a cheerleader, a bit of a rebel, and struggled to make ends meet before falling into her circle of scientist friends. A spin-off would mostly fill in gaps we can already imagine. 2. Kaley Cuoco did it better. Bridget Hennessy is essentially young Penny under another name. Cuoco embodied the archetype so well that doing it again would feel redundant, especially without her in the role. 3. The tone wouldn't translate. Part of what made young Sheldon work was its tonal shift. Instead of copying the Big Bang Theory's laugh track humor, it embraced a single-camera, heartfelt coming-of-age style. A young Penny series might feel forced if it tried to replicate the magic without Cuoco's presence. 4. Penny's power was in the mystery. Unlike Sheldon, whose quirks demanded explanation, Penny thrived on being an enigma. We didn't need to see every detail of her past to understand her. In fact, part of her charm was how she slowly revealed layers of herself across 12 seasons. Kaley Cuoco's real-life evolution proves the point. Even outside of the Big Bang Theory, Cuoco's career trajectory reinforces the idea that we don't need to revisit Penny's youth. After the sitcom ended, she reinvented herself with The Flight Attendant, showing she could carry a dark, stylish, and emotionally complex series. She also leaned into voice acting with Harley Quinn, proving her comedic instincts remain razor-sharp. In many ways, Cuoco has been giving audiences variations of Penny her whole career, sometimes funny, sometimes messy, sometimes deeply vulnerable. Watching her evolve as an actress has been more rewarding than any scripted prequel could be. Penny's legacy is already secure. Part of the reason young Sheldon worked was that Sheldon's story felt unfinished in the Big Bang Theory. Fans wanted to know how he became who he was. Penny, on the other hand, already enjoyed a full arc, from struggling actress to successful pharmaceutical rep, from aimless dater to happily married woman. Her character felt complete. Adding a spin-off would risk undermining that. Do we really need to see teenage Penny sneaking out of her dad's house, dating boys from the football team, or waiting tables in Omaha? Or do we already know enough to fill in those blanks with our imagination? Rewatching 8 Simple Rules is the real answer. If fans truly want to see young Penny, the solution is simple. Revisit 8 Simple Rules. Bridget Hennessy might not technically be Penny Hofstadter, but the DNA is unmistakable. Watching a teenage Cuoco roll her eyes at authority, manipulate her way out of trouble, and deliver perfect one-liners feels like a glimpse into Penny's formative years. It's a time capsule of Cuoco before she became a household name, and it shows why she was destined to become one of the biggest sitcom stars of her generation. Conclusion: Penny didn't need a spin-off, because Kaley Cuoco already wrote the script. While the idea of a young Penny spin-off might sound appealing on paper, the truth is that we've already seen it. Kaley Cuoco spent 3 years playing Bridget Hennessy, a character so eerily similar to Penny that it feels like fate led her straight from one role to the other. The Big Bang Theory gave Penny her full story, and 8 Simple Rules gave us the prequel, even if it was unintentional. Together, they form a complete picture of one of TV's most beloved characters. So, while Sheldon needed his spin-off to explain his quirks, Penny doesn't. Because thanks to Kaley Cuoco, we met young Penny 22 years ago, and she was just as one of TV's most beloved characters. So, while Sheldon needed his spin-off to explain his